Hello and welcome back to Sunrider Liberation Day. Incidentally, I realise I haven't been to the research section yet. So we have 4,895 intel. So out of curiosity, if we go to the store... the store costs money, whereas the upgrades cost intel. Okay, that's good, because that means I don't have to worry about... Okay, so Solar. You need a better quality reactor, because I want you able to fire multiple shots, ideally. That's the thing. Okay, she's up to 115, 120, 130. It's not enough, given how much firepower her kinetic barrage uses. It costs 89 energy, so reduce the energy cost. So it now costs 79 to fire her cannon, and she's got 130 to play with. So yeah, it's going to take at least another couple of... Yep, 74. Okay, so it's going to be at least another few upgrades before she can fire multiple times in a volley, but that's okay. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of money, to be fair, so... We want the Sunrider shield upgrade. Torpedo ammo, torpedo license. We could do with some repair drones, just in case, but they're not hideously expensive. We could do with some Alliance cruisers as backup. I like having backup. So we're limited to 2. And the frigates, again, they're potentially useful, but anyway. So what do we got here? Portable repair booster. 200 more XP. Also reduces the energy cost of the repair by 10. Yes, want that. New portable repair drones allow the Liberty to repair... No, there we go. Chigaro can make the Bianca's gravity gun more efficient by adding one of these high-tech devices. Energy cost will drop from 40 from 60. Expanded torpedo storage. Okay. Non-essentials which could be upgraded or outright tossed to make room for more torpedoes. Mark II repair drones. Ooh, yes. That repairs 75% of the maximum HP. Potentially armor-penetrating rounds. Full metal rounds can be fired from the Blackjack's assault guns for substantially improved armor penetration. While digging through the crust of a remote world, the Union unearthed remains of an ancient rider. While the rider was destroyed beyond use, the skeleton remains of a pilot were found clutching a personal shield generator. The device could be fitted on one of Liberty's fly drones to relocate its shields anywhere on the map. The Union will respond to your introduction to the Space Whale Order of Space Captains, a highly secretive society of captains who have made their marks on history. Increase the command point to cap to 5,000. Useful. Vanguard spread field. Powerful Ruvian artifact currently being used to generate the plasma containment field from a massive ore refinery. Could be repurposed to improve the Vanguard's cannon's firing spread. But acquiring it will not be cheap. Vanguard cannon now deals splash damage. Hells to the yes. I'm going to want that, but it's 20 grand and I've only got 6 left. So that's fine. I can save up to get that if I'm smart about it. So, what do I need? Repair drones Mark II would be pretty useful. Portable shield generator. No, I don't really need that. Potentially useful, but... Do I need the Blackjack dealing? That's a brand new kinetic attack for the Blackjack. I'll think about that one. I'll get it when I've got the... I'll get it when I've got a few more funds available, I think. So yeah, Solar is insanely useful at long range, which is why I'm spending quite a lot to upgrade her. Okay. So yeah, that's fine. Peace talks. Finally feels like the war's ending. Arcadius is still powerful, but even Pact's beginning to question his methods. We're almost there. Just a little bit more. Ava entered the interrogation room. Prototype. There's been no sign of any Pact activity in this sector for weeks now. Looks like your friends have abandoned you. Not so sisterly now. Quiet in your cell, isn't it? Without all those voices whispering in your head? Finally, a word from her. You're confident? You think we're defeated? Ava spread out a folder of photographs in front of Lynn. Prototype 31. Terminated. Prototype 59. Terminated. Prototype 21. Terminated. And so on and so forth. Your kind have nowhere to run. The Alliance will hunt you down. Humanity will hunt you down. Our numbers are infinite. We are the next phase of humanity's existence. A pity you will only unlock less than 1% of your brain's potential in your entire lifetime. The world we see is different. I see the fear in your eyes. The coming betrayal. Eyes, huh? We've already taken what is most precious to you. Just wait. Captain Shields and his ex-girlfriend. But that's all you'll ever be. His heart belongs to us. Good. Because that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Ava turned round and slammed the door behind her. Chief Engineer Chigara Lynn Ashada is a prototype. Chigara poked her head through Shields' doorway. Come in, Chigara. Thank you, Captain. She slipped into his office and closed the door behind her. It's a little bit scary sneaking in after hours, isn't it? My heart's thumping a little. And to think you're our veteran pilot. That's mean, Captain. Sorry. Shields rubbed Chigara's hair. Then, will it be the usual, Captain? I've already boiled the water. Chigara poured Shields a cup of tea. Feels like the war's almost over. It seemed just yesterday we were fighting as one ship in a war against all of Pact. Now we're surrounded by Alliance battleships. We've got Arcadius on the run. Guess that's a load off my shoulders, though. I'm glad. It was hard seeing you so troubled before. Yeah, I'd say things turned out pretty well. Maybe we'll even be home from Remembrance Day. And then, after all that, what will you do, Captain? Huh? It's a good question. I guess I never gave it much thought. I can't captain a warship forever. Hopefully when all of this is over, we can lay down our weapons, live in peace. Nice ideal, complete bollocks. There will always be a need for a military. Purely for the simple reason that, much as I wish it wasn't necessary, you've got to remember the crucial rule. Other people are dicks. It's the same reason that I learned sword fighting. I have no intention of ever actually fighting anybody. But I'd rather have the knowledge to defend myself if it comes to it. And you could argue that sword fighting's a bad call for that, because it's not like I'm going to be carrying a sword constantly. Well, not unless that petition we all put on the government website gets through. I'm not kidding, we actually put a petition on, because the British government has a website where you can petition the government to things, and if it gets 100,000 signatures, the government has to give you an official response. So yeah, we actually, for a laugh, put on a petition that that was open carry of swords. But anyway, but no, at the end of the day, there will always be a git with a stick, and as long as you know how to take that stick back off him and twat him over the head with it, that's all you need. Never start a fight. Always have the skills to finish it. Of course. Chigara's thinking of staying on Sarah. The pastry market on Tirada's not really that great, and since we're all heading there anyways, I thought... Oh dear, I'm rambling again. What I want to say though is I want to be with you. Really? Yeah? It's my greatest desire in the world. I see. Chigara... Shields put his arms around her. Sarah is a wonderful world. Chilly in the winter, hot during the summer, but very livable. And I have fond memories of growing up there, and it is still my home. A home I want to share. Yes, Captain? Chigara raised her face and closed her eyes, and her lips met with Shields's. It's a little embarrassing. What? A kiss? Because Chigara's never done a thing like this? A virgin? Oh, I should have known. I'd best stop here for tonight. It's late, Captain. Chigara stood up and smiled. The commander might catch me. Wouldn't want that. No. Well then, good night, Captain. Sleep well. Asaga yawned as she walked back to her bunk. To get her mind off her problems, she'd finished a long practice session on the simulator. Just as she turned the corner, she saw Chigara sneak out of the captain's quarters. Asaga inhaled sharply and hid behind the corner. Chigara? Huh? Wait, why am I hiding? Anyways, what's Chigara doing in the captain's room so late? Oh, don't tell me they've already done it. Asaga's chest squeezed at the thought. No way. There's no way Chigara would... Then did he make her do it? Anyways, I'd better get back to my bunk. Asaga hightailed it back to the crew quarters. Huh? Sola, listen to what I just saw. When I was walking down the hallway, minding my own business, when I saw Chigara walk out the captain's room. Crazy, innit? Perhaps she had business to discuss with him. She is the ship's chief engineer now. No. There was definitely something suspicious going on. Listen, Sola, when a man and a woman are in the same room at this hour of the night, that can only mean one thing. No. I'm sorry, I happen to believe that's cobblers, but oh well. She was doing a lot more than teaching the captain about nuclear fusion, that's what. Okay, teaching the captain about nuclear fusion might well be the best metaphor for boinking that I have ever heard. Then why do you not ask her? She is your friend. Actually, I haven't been talking to her much recently. I don't know what to do. Asaga dived into her bunk and rolled around on the cover. Chigara's my friend, but lately she's been getting awfully close to the captain. Kinda makes you think, doesn't it? What if they've already done it? I can't let Chigara beat me to losing the V-card, that's just too depressing. We mustn't meddle in the captain's relationships. It still bothers me! Sola buried her face in her pillow. Sleepy. Sola, listen to me! To think this girl possesses so much latent power. Fate is strange. Shields enter the hangar to see Ava lecturing a group of pilots and flight crew. Oh, I love the new background of the hangar. I love the fact you can actually see the riders in the background. Yes. Thank you. As I have established, I freaking love the designs of the riders. I'm a sucker for giant robots, I'm sorry. The character designs, yeah, they're okay. As I've said in the past, anime and manga is not really my art style. But, anyway. Shields enter the hangar to see Ava lecturing a group of pilots and flight crew. Oh boy, I wonder what's going on now. Something the matter? Captain! Unbelievable! Look! Ava pointed to Rider Bay 7, where the Havoc was now residing. Considerable restoration work had already been put into getting it back into service, with the leg's skeletal structure already rebuilt. I walk in here to inspect the Sunrider's repair work, and instead I find this criminal instrumentality being restored back to its original state. And what's more, I find your signature in the paperwork authorizing this. Ava pulled up a form bearing Shield's signature under a hollow and nearly shoved it up his nose. Must have approved it by accident. I really should read the things I sign more often. I've been watching MASH recently, and it's great whenever you see the company clerk, Radar O'Reilly, just hand a stack of forms to the CO, and he signs it. Radar, what am I signing? Oh, well, let's just requisition forms for this and that and t'other. Yeah. And so often he sneaks something in as well, but anyway. Well, it's a perfectly good rider, right? Huh! Who knows? Maybe Cosette will have a change of heart and fight with us. It's worked out pretty well for Akari, right? Okay, I'm not having that crazy, murderous lunatic on my sodding crew. I know lots of the fan base seems to really like her. I don't. I don't want her on my goddamn ship anywhere except the brig. Okay, never mind. Forget I said anything. Captain, the Havoc is inextricably associated with one of the most heinous criminals of our time. It's directly responsible for hundreds, if not thousands, of deaths, including civilians and our own crew. The mere thought of it sharing our hangar with the rest of the Rider Squadron is too abhorrent to even fathom. Yeah, she's got a point there. Not to mention that oversized chainsaw is going to cause a month's worth of HR paperwork. Just as Shields was about to let Ava have her way, Kriska emerged from the crowd. Captain? Commander? My apologies, but if I may... Lieutenant, wait, you're the one who's responsible for all this? Sir, that I am. The restoration on the Havoc was my idea. You're the last person I expected to get lectured by Ava. What do you have to say, Lieutenant? Sir, my personal opinion is that the Sunrider is still short on heavy bomber-type riders. While I can perform the squad's anti-capital ship duties single-handedly, sound military doctrine calls for at least one failsafe. And with all due respect to the Bianca's pilot, a support-type rider's kinetic cannon is nothing compared to a heavy bomber like the Havoc. I believe that it can be repurposed, this time for the cause of good. Hikari chimed in behind her. The Havoc's a morbidly obese, hideous lady. But Soldier Boy's got a point. When it comes to swallowing up bullets and nuking capital ships, the Havoc's pretty much got no equal. There's still room left in this hangar for one more rider. Besides, it's that pirate runt responsible for everything. The Havoc's just a tool we can take advantage of now for ourselves. Shields crossed his arms in contemplation. Okay, I'm not... if they at any point suggest getting Cosette to man the bloody thing, I'm telling them to piss off. But they're right. At the end of the day, a sword is a sword, a ship is a ship. There's a reason why nicking the enemy's stuff in war is a fairly common tactic, especially, well, used to be anyway. There is an art form to taking enemy ships. There's a fantastic quote from Bleak Expectations, which is just, over there we have our fleet, take that you filthy French our capital ship, take that you filthy French swine, and over there is its sister ship, take that you filthy English swine. We captured her off the French, we haven't got round to renaming her yet. Anyway, but no, they have a point. Havoc restored. And I doubt you're going to let some hurt feelings keep us from gaining a tactical advantage. Ava shook her head, knowing that she'd lost on that point. I suppose that the paperwork has already been filed. Very well, Captain. You are correct that the Havoc's tactical capabilities are impressive. Although this appears to be a moot point, as we're still short a pilot. One thing at a time, Ava. Ava suddenly leaned in close to Shields and nearly grabbed him by the cuff of his coat. And don't even dream of saying we should let Cosmos back into that thing. Why would you ever suspect I'd do that? Past experience! Ava huffed away. Alright people, show's over, back to work. Thank you, Captain. I would have hated to see such a mighty rider be scrapped. You really have a soft spot for heavy riders, don't you? Thick armour and heavy weaponry are all you need on a rider. Idiot. Don't come crying back to me when you get slugged by a capital ship's kinetics right out the launch tube. Hikari and Kriska walked back towards the rider bay, while arguing with each other. Shields sat in the gallery as the Alliance and Pact diplomats settled into their chairs. These old men and women held the reins of the galaxy, and he couldn't help but feel left out. But he had to accept that a military man like himself had no place in politics. Grey brought the dignitaries to order. The Solar Alliance thanks our dignitaries from the People's Alliance for attending this vital meeting. Speaking of military men, I hope that this session will be a productive one. Now, let us begin. Shields couldn't help but feel overwhelmed. The diplomats fought over so many tiny issues. Were they big issues that he just wasn't understanding? I guess I really don't belong at that table, huh? Now then, we turn to the status of the liberated neutral worlds. Grey's words caught Shields' attention. My counterpart has informed me the Pact no longer has an interest in a continued presence in the neutral rim. For peace, we shall return to our pre-war boundaries, provided the Alliance demands no I'm going to start that whole sentence again. For peace, we shall return to our pre-war boundaries, provided the Alliance demands no reparations from Pact. The neutral rim worlds will be permitted to exist as they have prior to the hostilities. Well, that's a start, but the neutral worlds have been devastated by the war. If they are merely left to their own devices, they will doubtlessly become pirate havens. Not to mention the toll to civilian life would be grievous. The neutral rim must remain unaligned with the galaxy's powers. That is the tenet of the Treaty of Vesper. We merely wish to avoid a humanitarian disaster. The Alliance will provide developmental assistance to the poorest of the neutral rim worlds. Advisors must be left to ensure that free and fair elections will be conducted, as well as peacekeeping forces to control pirates and other criminal elements. Pact will not allow the Alliance to turn the neutral rim into its backyard. So you will let billions die in a war you began? Independence cannot be won without sacrifice. The starving children of Ongus did not make that choice. Mere imperialist propaganda. You seek to leverage the suffering in the neutral rim for your own progress, nothing more. I recall your words above the skies of Ongus quite vividly, Admiral. I would not accuse me of being a liar if I were you. If you are so deaf as to your moral imperatives, then the cannons of my ships will negotiate for me. Huh. I see this session shall not go anywhere. We are adjourned. The diplomats vanished as they cut their FTL comms. The holographic projection faded away and Shields returned to his office. Bah! Fear not, Captain. That boy is merely showboating in front of his comrades to find influence within their own ranks. Once my ships reach Sarah, they will agree to a peace treaty. Well, the Admiral's right on that point at least. Do not be concerned by their words. The Alliance has no intention of military occupying the neutral rim. The progressives back home bleed their hearts out for every damned humanitarian cause in the galaxy. If I don't do something to help the women and children now, you can goddamn wager the Progress Party will be running ads that I personally oversaw the execution of war orphans on Ongus and primetime holovision. Ugh, politics. Gray shook his head. The talks were interesting, and I appreciate the invitation, Admiral. Then I must return to work. Gray out. Come in. Captain, I'm almost done with this form. Just hang on a minute. Actually, I didn't come to you about the paperwork. Well, that's a first. What is it? I've been researching some irregularities. Irregularities? Of what kind? Throughout our travels, strange coincidences have occurred. Do you remember when we performed an emergency warp out of the Minos Abyss? How could I forget? We almost got vaporized when the Rubian Super Dreadnought blew. The emergency drive-out location was derived when we first arrived at the Abyss. Despite that, when we arrived at the save point, an entire Pact fleet was waiting for us. I always assumed they got lucky. We happened to be spotted by a Pact scout. Next is Operation Wedding Crash. Despite our surprise warp, Arcadius was not only completely prepared for our arrival with a holographic body double of himself, but also had the Legion standing by to intercept us. That's hardly surprising. Wouldn't Arcadius use cheap tricks like that? And since he was there, it was only natural the Legion would be parked nearby too. But why would a race of disposable clones bother with a holograph? Better safe than shot through the gut. I don't care if I had an army of clones, I'd still prefer my insides intact. Finally, the ambush at Hellion. Despite operating in shadow mode, the enemy managed to effortlessly track down our position, almost as if they knew all along where we were hiding. An equipment malfunction on our part? Maybe an energy fluctuation that gave us away? Captain, you are not seeing the obvious answer. There is a traitor among us. Someone with knowledge of this ship's systems has been relaying our movements to Pact. Traitor? Who would do that? Ava nearly pounded the table in frustration. Captain, we must detain the chief engineer. Chigara. What did she do? Ugh! The commander nearly flipped Shield's table in rage. That'll be impressive. The bloody thing looks like it's built into the floor. Captain! Shield sighed. We have no reason to suspect her. She could have destroyed the ship 1,000 times over if she wanted to. But she's always been here, protecting all of us. Doesn't that mean anything to you, Ava? She is one of them. We still don't know anything about what happened at Diode. The prisoner has already confessed as to the chief's identity. No. We will not have a witch hunt on this ship merely because a prisoner said so. These prototypes are cunning, manipulative. It's only playing mind games with you. It means to cause division within our ranks, spread fear, paranoia. We are one family on this ship. We will not betray one another based just on coincidences and conjecture. Naive. Your request is denied, Commander. You've been seeing her here at night, haven't you, Cato? I expected more from you, Ava. But you are right. You are and will always be my executive officer. Nothing more. Dismissed. Ava spun round and stormed out of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s office. She opened the door, only to come face to face with Chigara. Oh, Commander, I'm sorry, I didn't... Ugh! Ava pushed away and fumed down the hall. Oh, did I do something wrong, Captain? No. No, come right in. Don't mind her. Ava returned to the bridge, her teeth about to shatter from the tension. Commander, take a look at this. Lieutenant, heavy ion storms coming our way. Looks like we'll be in for some bad weather. I recommend temporarily halting repair work until the storm passes. Doesn't look like we've got a choice. Order the crew to go to Code Black. Shield all electronic devices to prevent outages and move the crew deeper into the ship. Understood, Commander. The Sunrider rumbled as her shield particles held back the ion storm. Even though the elements were no match for the Sunrider's shields, the creaking of the hull filled the office with an ominous atmosphere. Sure is bad weather, huh, Captain? No kidding. This storm came out of nowhere. The other officers used to tell stories about these storms to scare me back when I was a fresh lieutenant. About ghost ships floating among the ion clouds, filled with the souls of the men you fought and killed back from the dead for revenge. Chigara gripped S.H.I.E.L.D.'s sleeve. Don't worry, Chigara, we've been through a lot worse than ghosts. All of a sudden, the klaxon rang. Chigara shot up into the air, her arms outstretched. Huh? Chigara, are you alright? Captain, we've got a situation. Pact forces incoming. On my way. Chigara was peed herself? Sorry. Get suited up. No need to fear the dead when we've got enough troubles from the living. Yes, Captain. S.H.I.E.L.D.'s marched into the bridge. Status? A Pact fleet hidden inside the storm cluster. They used it to mask their approach. They're already almost on top of us. Forces loyal to Arcadius. They're here to get their friend back. We are being hailed. S.H.I.E.L.D.s. You have one of ours. Arcadius. Or should I say prototype? Awful nice of you to go to such lengths to rescue your friend. Rescue? Nay, she shall return to us in death. Death is but a necessary step in rebirth. We fear not death when we are immortal. Cut the channel. Aye. Fool! You are What's the Sunrider's status? Most of our systems are still shut down for repairs. We'll have to fend them off with merely our Alliance escorts and riders. Further, the storm is interfering with our missile guidance system, so we'll have to defend our forces without them. What about Pact? They seem to have already devised a countermeasure. Their missiles are fully operational. So it looks like they'll have the advantage. Chigara, can you get our missiles working again? Yes, I've already begun to rewrite the guidance system. We're in your care. All units, defend the Sunrider from enemy attack until our missiles are operational again. The Sunrider will provide fire support once that is done. Understood. He's relying entirely on her for this operation. Reckless, too reckless. Is there a problem, Commander? No. All hands, prepare for combat. Yep, I'm going to quick save. And then proceed. Alright, let's deploy the fleet. So, he's going to be a problem. But, okay. Some of these guys could be... we can't even deploy the Sunrider. Right. I'm going to have to think about the formation placement. So, solar there. 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 There we go. You've got to get really accurate to actually click on them. And they're anchoring the ends of the formation. Right. That... I have begun to compensate for the electromagnetic interference caused by the ion storm. Please give me 5 turns to bring our missiles back online. Copy that. Come on, soldier boy. Let's buy the Liberty some time before we can nuke those bastards again. Hiya! Face the might of the Solar Alliance. Survive for 5 turns. Okay, that to me seems like an excellent point to end this turn. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next part.